What is your name, please?
My name is Margo Hamilton.
My name is Margo Hamilton. My name is Margo Hamilton.
Only one of these young ladies is the real Margo Hamilton. The other two are imposters and will try to fool this panel. Tom Poston, Carol Channing, Orson Bean, and Kitty Carlisle. On to Tell the Truth with your host, Bud Collier.
Don't wait for the time, huh? Thank you very much. Good evening and welcome once again to Tell the Truth. Brought to you this week by Easy On Spray Starch with the special formula that will not scorch, leaves your iron shining clean and free from starch buildup. Easy On. Well,
that's the way to start a show, all right.
Yeah. Sorry if I'm holding things up for you, fellas.
Wait a minute.
Carol, welcome back.
Oh, thank you, Bud.
Bless your heart. I know that Hello Dolly is the hottest ticket in town, but what else is new?
Oh, the most exciting thing,
What?
well, as a matter of fact, today is the result of all the excitement. It all comes out today.
Oh?
Is my new single. A single is a single platter of a record. It's the opposite of a plural album. Like Hello Dolly, it's not that. It's a single, and it's under Command Records. You know, that's my new label. You know, you have a label and records. And it ain't Misbehaving, my own version, not from Hello Dolly. And it's a salute. The other side is a salute to Louis Armstrong. I thought that was the least I could do.
Oh, boy, nothing has changed. I love you madly.
Carol plays trumpet on the other side.
All right, please open that envelope you have there and follow along, if you will, in this first story as I read. I, Margo Hamilton, am a showgirl. In the past, I have been a fashion model in London, Paris, and Rome. In Paris, I was also a member of the famous Bluebells troupe. In Rome, I played the part of handmaiden to the Queen in the motion picture Cleopatra. Currently, I am appearing in New York City in the first full-scale Broadway version of France's most celebrated revue, the Folies Bergere. Signed, Margo Hamilton. Panel, these three young ladies all claim to be Margo Hamilton, Folies Bergere showgirl. Let's start this questioning with Orson Bean. Orson?
Oh, all right. Bountifully endowed by the Creator, one and all. My congratulations to you. Well, I played opposite Jane Mansfield for a year in a show. This accounts for my bad posture. Number two. Tell me. Oh, I'm so nervous I can't read my own writing. I wrote down some questions. What is a pasty? Number two. Do you know?
A pasty is a thing a girl wears when she plays in New York.
Oh, good answer. Number one, what was the Bluebells troupe?
Well, it still is.
What is it, then?
Well, it's a troupe of dancers, showgirls, and nudes, 32 of us, dancing at the Lido.
Mercy.
Kitty Carlisle.
Well, the competition's a bit rough around here tonight. Number three, can you tell me Patachou's first name?
No, I cannot.
Number one, when there is no pasty, what does that mean?
Well, that means that we're completely, very artistic, just the way we're born.
Number two, where did you work in when you did Cleopatra? What was the name of the studio in Rome?
Cinecittà.
Number three.
Tom Poston.
What did you say, number two?
Cinecittà.
Oh, yes.
Of course. Where else?
Number two, you know there's a friend of mine who's in that show, Louis Montevecchi. Do you know him?
Yes, I know her.
You know her? Don't tell me it's a girl. Number one, who's Patachou's husband?
I really don't know.
Number 2, who's the choreographer of the show?
George Reich.
Thank you. Number 3,
Carol Channing.
Number 2, who designed the costumes in the Folies Bergere?
Michel Gamarty.
Number 1, what is the name of Cleopatra's handmaiden?
Well, I was one of her handmaidens. She had many.
Oh,
Yes.
I see. All right. And now, number 2. Is there any, can you tell us anything to do with a fire in Las Vegas concerning the Folies Bergere?
Nothing at all.
Nothing at all. Number 1.
That's all the time we have, I'm sorry to say. But in any event, there still are a few moments left, precious moments, wherein you may mark your ballot. So will you mark them at once, please? Right now, without change, and of course, no consultation. As you select now, number 1, number 2, or number 3. And our team of challengers will receive $250 for every incorrect vote. All ballots marked?
Yeah.
Very well, Tom, for whom did you vote?
I voted for number 2. I didn't really get to ask number 3 any questions. But indeed, Miss Montevecchi is a girl, and she's extremely talented. She would be worth going to see the show alone for. And I think that probably, since Patashu's husband is the producer, number 1 might have known that it was Mr. Lester. So I voted for number 2.
Carol Channing, your vote.
I voted for number 2 because the jewelry in the Folies Bergere is always so that it projects to the last row, and the crystals wouldn't project on stage, and they always go in for those. That's what the designer goes for.
I see.
I mean, he goes for rhinestones and diamonds and whatnot.
I bet he designed all 3.
Orson.
I almost...
Looks French.
No, but most of those girls are not French, I've heard. They're just of the world, that's all. I almost voted for number 1, but I finally voted for number 2. The Folies Bergere, I think, is worth going to see, even with pasties, because they might... Well, they might... all the Elmer's glue all could dry up one terrible night. I voted for number 2 because she knew about Tom's friend and things.
Kitty Carlisle.
I voted for number 3. I voted for number 3 because she has the inscrutable look of those girls who always look inscrutable when they are without pasties. They have a dignity and a charm, and that's why I voted for number 3.
Very well, there we have it. Very close to being unanimous. 3 for number 2, 1 for number 3. Let's find out now which of these charming young ladies actually is, in truth, a Folies Bergere showgirl. Will the real Margo Hamilton please stand up? Thank you very much. My. Must be a wonderful show to see. You enjoying doing it over here?
Yes, I'd love to see it.
You'd like to see it yourself? I don't blame you. Number 1, what is your real name and what do you really do?
My name is Audrey Smalls, and I'm an assistant fashion coordinator for Bloomingdale's department store.
Thank you very much. And number 3, what is your real name and what do you do?
My name is Taffy Douglas, and I'm the wake-up weather girl on radio station WLIB.
Well, ladies, I'm afraid the panel was a little smart in this first round tonight, but there was 1 incorrect vote, and that's worth $250. And I know what the 3 women can do with $250. They'll make it pay triple and quadruple many times over. May it bring you great joy in any event, and we thank you very much for being with us. That money, of course, comes to you from Easy On, and on your way out, you will find there is a package of all the fine products from the makers of Easy On. Thank you very much for joining us. Goodbye, and God bless you. Meet our next team of challengers.
What is your name, please?
My name is Harry Haynes.
My name is Harry Haynes.
My name is Harry Haynes.
Panel, please follow along, if you will, with your copies of this story. I, Harry Haynes, am an entomologist, an authority on insects. My specialty is the mosquito. In my studies of the mosquito, I have arrived at some general conclusions. Mosquitoes prefer dark colors to light colors. They like perfume and hair tonic, and they tend to bite active people more. Based on these and other facts, I devised a questionnaire which measures the extent of a person's appeal to mosquitoes. A couple of weeks ago, each panelist was given these test questions without his or her knowing why. Here are the results. Kitty Carlisle and Orson Bean both posted a 65, which makes them quite yummy. Satisfactory for a major meal. Carol Channing has low mosquito appeal. She scored only 55, barely good enough for a snack to a mosquito. Tom Poston, however, scored the highest with a 75, which makes him the tastiest dish on the panel. Signed, Harry Haynes. These three gentlemen all claim to be Harry Haynes, as you heard, expert on mosquitoes. We'll start this cross-examination with the tastiest dish on the panel, Tom Poston.
Thank you, Bud. Number two. Could I ask you the name of a chemical which would serve as the best repellent for mosquitoes and other insects? Number two.
Ethylhexane diol would be a good one.
Ethylhexane diol. That one, I'm not familiar with that one. Is that the chemical you would suggest, number three?
Yes, it is.
Well, number one, how many types of mosquitoes are there, roughly?
There are approximately 2,500 varieties.
Oh, my. Oh, my, oh, my.
Carol Channing.
Number 3, why do mosquitoes like dark colors rather than light, like perfume and like hair tonic and all that?
I think the dark colors absorb heat, and the mosquitoes do like heat, so they're attracted to it. And they like dark colors because they just prefer them. That's their first preference.
Number 2, would it have anything to do with aniline dyes in the dark colors?
With what?
With any kind of chemical in the dark colors?
Not that we know of.
Not that you know of. Only... Carol, I guess so.
This this survey, which shows what mosquitoes like best, who paid you to do this? Was it a combine of wealthy mosquitoes, or number one, how does an entomologist make his money? I mean, who wants to know all this stuff?
Well, most entomologists are commercially employed by corporations.
By who? Like?
Companies that manufacture repellents.
Oh, I see. Number 2, the ethylhexane diol. Whatever happened to the good old juice of the citronella bush? When I was a kid, that's what we used. It kept mosquitoes and girlfriends and everything far away. Doesn't anybody use citronella anymore?
I think you answered your own question.
That's well, I
All right, Kitty Carlisle.
Well, I don't understand if the mosquitoes like dark colors to light colors, why do they like Tom more than they like me? Because he's light and I'm dark, number 3.
That's a good question.
And they don't like Carol at all.
It's his jacket.
It's his jacket. Oh. Number 1, where is the worst mosquito? What is the worst disease that a mosquito carries?
Well, there's malaria and yellow fever, which are the two worst.
Number 2, have we stamped out yellow
That's
fever?
all the time we have, I'm sorry to say. But you have to mark your ballots yet, so please mark them at once. Don't bite them, just mark them. Mark them without change and, of course, without any consultation whatsoever. Merely vote for number 1, or you may vote for number 2, or possibly number 3. All ballots are now marked.
No,
eh?
mine isn't,
Everyone?
Bud.
No?
I'm really reeling. Reeling.
Please mark them as swiftly as possible. And here goes the last one. Carol. There we go. And Tom, for whom did you vote?
I voted for a big number 3 there. I don't think there are 2,500 varieties of mosquito. But on the other hand, I don't know. Here's an M for mosquito. Anyway, that's my vote.
Carol Carol Channing, which one did you select?
I voted for number 1, Bud, because he looks like the kind of person who would not mind spending his life in a closed, and he has the opposite of claustrophobia. I mean, I think that 2 and 3 couldn't stand being in a closet that long. But number 1 looks like he wouldn't mind.
He passed my test.
All right, Orson.
Well, I voted for number 2. He looks to me as if he has been associating with the world of bugs for all these many years. But I don't mean that in any bad way. I didn't even notice he had a mustache. No, this is because in the world of bugs, you wouldn't be in a... I'm sorry, folks. Tune in next week and find out.
Get it, Carlisle.
I voted for number 1 because I think he looks like a scientist.
Yeah.
That's all you have to say about it? All right, that makes it 2 for number 1, 1 for 2, 1 for 3. Widely split this time, and let's go into the area of truth and find out which of these gentlemen is the real expert on mosquitoes. Will the real Dr. Harry Haynes please stand up? Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Incidentally, Dr. Harry Haynes is a technical manager in the Consumer Products Division of Union Carbide Corporation. That is his employer. Oh. Number 1, what is your real name and what do you really do?
My name is Gilbert Green. I am president of Green Air Service at Westchester County Airport, New York.
Thank you. And number 2, what is your real name and what do you do?
My name is Bill Hollander, and I'm a copy editor for the New York Times.
And gentlemen, in checking the score, we find you did extremely well. There were 3 incorrect votes, and that times $250 is $750 from Easy On. I suggest maybe you take the first 3 girls out for supper. They didn't do as well as you did. That wouldn't be a very severe chore, would it? And, of course, on your way out, you receive a gift package of all the fine products and the makers of Easy On. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us and bringing us so much fun. Good night. God bless you. Now let's meet our next team of challengers.
What is your name, please?
My name is Muriel Marsh.
My name is Muriel Marsh. My name is Muriel Marsh.
Follow along with this story, panel. I'm Muriel Marsh, and the only woman member of the crew of Cotton Blossom 4, a 71-foot racing yawl. About 10 days ago, we returned from the biannual Bermuda race, 635 miles of the toughest kind of sailing competition among more than 100 of the best ocean racing yachts in the world. I am ship's cook. Despite the fact that my tiny seagoing kitchen may be bucking like a bronco and my galley stove tilted to an angle of some 30 degrees, it is my job to come up with 3 square meals every day, plus snacks and gallons of hot coffee for 14 hungry men. I have crewed on the Bermuda races 8 times. I had the distinction of being the only sailor in the history of the rugged event who is a great-grandmother. Signed, Muriel Marsh. Very well, panel. These 3 ladies all claim to be Muriel Marsh, sailing great-grandmother. We'll start with Kitty Carlisle. Kitty?
Thank you. Number 1, how long does this race take?
3.5 days for Cotton Blossom.
Thank you. Number 2, what are you doing when you're not on this in this galley?
I'm always in the galley.
You don't race all year round.
Oh, you mean other than the race?
Yes.
Well, I'm at home. I'm a housewife.
Number 3, where do you store all the food in this galley?
Why, various compartments. I even hide the brownies under the bath towels in the head.
No. Number 1, how do you make coffee on this bucking bronco of yours?
In a great big enormous percolator, which is held on the stove by racks.
Thank you. Number 2, where do you sleep?
Tom Poston.
Thank you. Thank you, Bud. Number 1, do you work alone?
I work alone in the galley. It's only 6 feet by 2 feet.
Is that right? Number 2, do you work alone?
Yes, I do.
Number 3, do you work alone?
Yes.
Number 3, what is a catamaran?
A catamaran is a 2-hulled vessel.
How did you know? Number 2, how many What is the youngest member of your crew?
16.
Did you remember the hull of a racing yacht being transported and just put in the water here the last, 2 or 3 weeks ago?
Yes.
What was the name of that craft?
Are you speaking to me?
Yes, ma'am.
The American Eagle?
How about that?
Carol Channing.
Number 3, what does the name Hornblow mean to you?
Captain Hornblower, a famous author about seagoing voyages.
Number 1, what does the name Hornblow mean to you?
Captain Hornblower, the hero of a series of books about naval affairs.
Number 2, who makes the best sailboats?
Oh, that's a very dangerous question to answer. There are very many people that build very marvelous sailboats.
Oh, I see.
Orson B.
Number 2, I'm dying to know how come it is that you are a great-grandmother. I mean, I've heard of child brides, but this is ridiculous. Were you found in the mountains of Peru or something? How does it happen that...
No, I was wise. I started by marrying a gentleman with a large family.
Oh, I see. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's all the time we have, but you still have time to mark your ballots, so will you mark them now, at once, without change, no consultation, as you know. Simply vote for number 1, number 2, or number 3. Are all ballots marked? Here we go. All right, Tom, for whom did you vote this time?
I voted for the lady that was smart enough to hide the brownies under the bath towels in the head.
Carol, what was your choice?
I voted for number 2 because she has the deepest tan.
And Orson, which one do you think is the real one?
Well, I voted for number 1. She looks like she's, kind of solid enough to stay in a 2-foot-wide kitchen and just hang around down there and cook. So, it's a lousy answer, but it's the best I could come up with.
And hide brownies. Kitty.
I voted for number 2. I think she looks like the most seagoing of the ladies. They were all absolutely marvelous. I don't know, but I think it's number 2.
Very well, there were 2 for number 2, 1 for number 3, 1 for number 1. Let's find out now which of these ladies is, in truth, the seagoing, well, let's see, call her great cook, great sailor, great-grandmother. Will the real Muriel Marsh please stand up? Ha ha!
Tell me, don't they ever go into the bath towels? Is that why the brownies are safe there?
I don't know, but I'd be scared of you from now on looking for brownies wherever you go.
I know where to find them in her head.
Number 1, what is your real name and what do you really do? No, don't stand up, please.
My name is Betty Loomis. I'm a housewife of Greenwich, Connecticut.
And number 2, what is your real name and what do you do?
I'm Evelyn Roman of the Roman Stores for Larger Women.
Well, check the score, ladies, and find that you two did well, as did the second group tonight, and there were 3 incorrect votes, and that times $250, $750 to be divided amongst you. That comes from Easy Off. You'll also pick up a package of their fine products on your way out. Thank you, ladies, and hope you had as much fun as you brought to us. Good night, and God bless you. That's all the time we have, and I hate to call this to an end. It was such fun. Thank you for that. Goodbye, Pat.
Right, goodbye, dear
And
Fred.
goodbye to all of you, and see you all the same time next week. And, of course, I'll see you tomorrow afternoon on the daytime show. In the meantime, speaking for Easy On, may I remind you once again to tell the truth. Bye.
To Tell the Truth is a Mark Woodson, Bill Codman production. Has been brought to you by Chef Boyardee, makers of a complete line of high-quality Italian-style food. This is Johnny Olson speaking for To Tell the Truth.